Thanks for joining us for KSAT News at 9, streaming from here in the KSAT 12 newsroom. I'm Courtney Friedman. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight. We are hours away from the implementation of Bexar County and San Antonio's so-called stay-home, work-safe orders. We're going to talk and explain exactly what happens when that goes into effect. We're also going to hear directly from Mayor Ron Nirenberg about the city's order. Plus, it's estimated that thousands of Americans are stuck abroad during this pandemic. That includes a local man and woman whose dream vacation to Peru took a turn when the Peruvian president put the country on lockdown. But let's start with the latest numbers. A second COVID-19 related death has been confirmed in Bexar County. The victim was a woman in her 40s who died while receiving treatment at University Hospital. St. Luke Catholic Church issued a statement on their Facebook page saying one of their employees had passed from COVID-19. The news of this death comes just 2 days after we learned of our area's first COVID-19 death. That was on Sunday night. The victim was a woman in her 80s. Bexar County reported 12 new cases today, bringing the total to 69. 32 are travel related. 10 were exposure through close contact with people who previously tested positive. 18 are cases from community transmission, and the rest are under investigation. Across Texas, the state's health department is reporting more than 700 cases and 11 deaths. The CDC says nationwide there are more than 44,000 cases and more than 500 deaths. But Johns Hopkins University and Medicine's Coronavirus Resource Center is showing nearly 418,000 cases globally and more than 18,000 deaths. Johns Hopkins includes presumptive positive cases in their count. Back here at home, the stay-home ordinance will go into effect tonight at 11:59. A little later in the show, we're going to tell you exactly what is and is not impacted by stay-home, work-safe. On that list is grocery stores. They are considered essential. Mayor Ron Nirenberg has repeatedly asked people not to hoard, saying the food supply chain remains healthy. Yet within hours of that order, people flooded the stores.
Customers separated only by their carts. This long line outside H-E-B near Brook Hollow and 281. And take a look at this scene in Leon Springs this morning. The line here so long, it wrapped around to the back of the building. The chirping of birds signaled the start of a long day ahead here as well at a store on Military and Zarzamora. Forget 6 feet, these customers are standing right next to each other. The line snaking around twice in front of the store. Our own Katrina Weber was there speaking with customers.
Despite the size of the crowd, no one who I talked to said that they were panic shopping.
Many people saying they were standing in line just to pick up a few of the basics. The line was too long for David Gonzalez, who was just trying to pick up chorizo.
My 3-year-old grandson likes chorizo with egg.
There was also another item on the list.
Well, the toilet paper.
But with the length of the line, Gonzalez instead went to try his luck at another store. H-E-B has changed hours to help restock shelves and even limited items to keep people from hoarding. There's also a curbside service, but the earliest order isn't available until early April.
H-E-B says there will continue to be products available. They're only running out because so many people are rushing to buy at once. They also say they are working to keep shoppers and workers safe by keeping them 6 feet apart in stores. Again, grocery stores are an essential business, and you will be allowed to visit the store if you need items while this order is in place. At the moment, the declaration is set to end on April 9th. Meanwhile, the city of New Braunfels joined several other Texas cities today, announcing they will now implement the stay-at-home, work-safe order as well. The order is similar to San Antonio and Bexar counties, and it takes effect tomorrow at 11:59 and will remain in effect until the mayor says otherwise. Statewide, tighter restrictions may be on the way if people are not serious about maintaining social distancing orders. That was what Governor Greg Abbott said today during a press conference.
On my travel to this location today, I was surprised at how many vehicles I saw on the road. It's clear to me that we may not be achieving the level of compliance that is needed. That's why I've said before, I remain flexible in my statewide standard, and I look at data multiple times a day. I get advice from the medical profession multiple times a day, and we will continue to evaluate based upon all the data whether or not there needs to be heightened standard and stricter enforcement.
Governor Abbott also praised the Texas medical community and residents who have helped contribute personal protective equipment to help doctors treat infected patients. Due to their efforts and the creation of a medical supply chain strike force, Abbott says Texas will soon begin to receive more than 1 million surgical masks per week. He also issued a new executive order directing hospitals to submit daily capacity reports and directing private labs testing for COVID-19 to submit daily testing figures to the state health department. An update now from the University Health System. They are now processing samples of COVID-19 in their own lab with help from UT Health San Antonio partners. Their processing starts today on a limited basis. Samples processed at the University Health System lab will be for healthcare workers and patients at University Hospital. The goal is to get healthcare workers who test negative back to work quickly, and the sickest patients in the hospital will get their diagnoses sooner. The public health crisis already having a major impact on the economy and people's employment. Today, the Bexar County Commissioner's Court approved $5.25 million worth of loans and grants to help out local small businesses that are losing money. Businesses could get up to $25,000 for a loan or up to $5,000 for a grant. Loans would be zero interest with payments deferred for at least the next few months. The county expects there to be enough money for almost 250 businesses. The point of these loan programs is to make sure employees still have jobs.
So they want to show that they're going to demonstrate that they can continue to keep their staff online. Maybe it's doing different tasks, maybe it's reduced salary, but something that helps the employees stay employed.
These loans are being distributed through Lift Fund. If you're a business owner interested in applying or learning more, here's the number, 888-215-2373. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking on Capitol Hill as the nation waits for an unprecedented stimulus bill to bring relief to businesses and workers facing financial ruin in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Following days of pressure, unusual partisanship in a crisis and intense debate over the details seem to be holding things up. Negotiators appear almost done with a nearly $2 trillion bill, yet nothing. This as President Donald Trump says he wants the U.S. open for business by Easter. That's 20 days from now. Back here at home, San Antonio area school districts are extending their closures. Texas Governor Greg Abbott's public health emergency declaration required school districts to close through April 3rd. But now most in our area have extended through at least April 24th. Included on that list, Alamo Heights, East Central, Harlandale, North Side, and SAISD. We have a full list right now on KSAT.com. Just click on the coronavirus tab. As countries across the world respond to the pandemic with shutdowns and limited travel, thousands of Americans are stuck abroad, including a San Antonio couple right here. They are stranded in Peru. And tonight, Tiffany Huertas learns more about their situation and how their trip of a lifetime took an unplanned turn.
I just asked her if she wanted to come to Peru since Peru didn't have any coronavirus cases.
This San Antonio couple traveled to Peru on March 8th. Jose Angel Hinojosa and Siul Cortez traveled to Machu Picchu, one of the 7 wonders of the world, and that's when he popped the big question. Siul said yes, but the story doesn't end there. They are now stranded in Peru.
I didn't think this was going to happen since the virus was on the other side of the world.
Peru has 416 COVID-19 cases according to Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. On March 15th, the country's president issued a 15-day nationwide state of emergency and closed the borders.
I was kind of nervous. I was thinking about my job.
The couple says they called the U.S. Embassy in Peru and they left their information with them, but they haven't heard back. The U.S. Embassy in Lima, Peru says it continues to look for options for U.S. citizens. Today, flights from Peru to the U.S. were canceled. Peru's State Department advises people in this situation to check with their airline because while the country is on lockdown, some flights are being let in and out on a case-by-case basis. The embassy says U.S. citizens should stay in their lodging until further notice. For now, the couple is adjusting and taking precautions. They are scheduled to return to San Antonio on April 3rd, but they say they know things could change. For the 9, Tiffany Huertas.
Let's turn to tonight's 9 at 9. A Border Patrol agent shot and killed in a San Antonio hotel room. His wife now charged in his murder. A man runs an entire marathon on his balcony. Plus, a look at how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting communities across the country.
Here's tonight's 9 at 9. A local woman arrested and charged with murder in the shooting death of her husband. San Antonio police say it happened this morning at a Northside La Quinta Inn.
Because we do have her detained and she will go down to headquarters to get interviewed, those details will come to light.
Here's a look at the empty streets of London in the wake of the UK's stay-at-home order. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson issued the restriction overnight in an effort to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. UK residents are only allowed to leave their home for essential reasons, and police have the power to enforce these new rules. Mexico has suspended group gatherings of 100 or more people in an effort to combat COVID-19. Mexico's president is urging the public to care for their elders and vulnerable members of the population. Take a look at this. Italy's foreign minister tweeted out these images of 25 tons of medical supplies that have landed in the country from China. The cargo includes 1.5 million masks, 155 lung fans, 205,000 latex gloves, and 1,000 diagnostic kits. In Chile, authorities finally got a hold of a puma that had been roaming around the capital of Santiago. They think the 1-year-old 35-pound cat felt emboldened to wander around because of the unusually empty streets. Wildlife experts say there's no reason to worry, as these creatures historically have lived in this area, and this puma displayed a willingness to hide from humans. The puma is in good health and under supervision. New Orleans residents are reporting an increased number of rat sightings now that the French Quarter bars and clubs are closed and restaurants are operating on a limited basis. Pest control crews have been out to deal with the problem. City leaders are also asking people to throw trash away and avoid throwing food and drinks out into the street. Lady Gaga's delaying the release of her new album in light of the coronavirus pandemic. Chromatica was set for an April 10th release. The singer announced Tuesday it just doesn't feel right to release the album with everything that's happening in the world. She hopes to announce a new album release date soon. And all week long, area school districts have been distributing meals to students while they are learning remotely. Today, Edgewood ISD took that initiative one step further. They delivered bags of food and water to about a dozen homes for students who didn't have a way of getting to the distribution sites all on their own.
We have families that we already know that have been on the list and continually need some support like this, so we've been reaching out to them as well. Sometimes they don't have their phone numbers are not good, so we still go out to their homes. Even though we can't reach them by phone, we will still make a visit and just to check and see if they're in need of food or if there's something else that they need.
And look at this, a runner in France ran the entire length of a full marathon on his apartment balcony. That's more than 26 miles on his 23-foot balcony. To read more about these stories, head to KSAT.com.
Well, hey everyone, good evening. I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey, and I thought I would take you through the forecast. First of all, it was a very warm day. We saw some clouds, but generally it was almost complete sunshine in the afternoon. That really allowed our afternoon high temperatures to warm up substantially. In fact, we got up to 91 degrees today. Now we hit 91. That is the warmest day since October 20th of last year. So definitely hot, definitely shows the power of the sunshine, and we're going to have nothing but sunshine tomorrow. We've also got a bit of a drier atmosphere in place. Dew points are currently in the 40s and 50s around San Antonio. So dry air, it heats up really quickly and it cools down really quickly. And so tonight, we're actually going to cool down very efficiently. In fact, by tomorrow morning, we'll wake up with complete sunshine and it'll be 56 degrees. Now, with the new order that's in place, you can still go outside and enjoy some time outdoors as long as you stay 6 feet away from your neighbor. And tomorrow will be a nice day to do that, especially during the first part of the day, because in the afternoon, it will be quite hot. The high temperature is expected to be right around 94 degrees, and we'll see a wind from the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we'll have a cooler evening with temperatures falling into the 60s and 70s, a lot like they're doing right now out there. I want to show you the bigger weather picture. So the reason why we're in store for a few warm days is because we've got a ridge of high pressure just to the south of south central Texas, right smack dab over Mexico, and that's going to kind of linger around and make for warm afternoons. In fact, both tomorrow through Friday, we're expecting temperatures to be close to 90 degrees for the afternoon high, but it won't stay that warm for that long because by Saturday morning, a cold front is going to move through, and that's going to set our temperatures back down into the 70s for highs on the weekend. So it should be a pretty nice weekend for spending some time outdoors, maybe in your backyard or your front yard, again, as long as you're 6 feet away from your neighbors. So just taking a quick check of the forecast over the next 7 days, just know that we are going to be seeing warm days here through Friday, near about 90 degrees, and then cooler in the weekend. Not really a significant chance for rain in the forecast.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll be back in 1 minute. Stay with us. County stay-home, work-safe orders has prompted a lot of questions for people. It's why Mayor Ron Nirenberg stopped by KSAT 12 today and joined anchors Steve Spreester and Isis Romero to answer some questions about the order and talk about why it's necessary. Here's some highlights from that conversation.
Now, prior to the order taking effect, which takes effect today at 11:59, there was a previous order. This one just adds to it. Can you talk to us about the difference between the previous order and the one that takes effect tonight?
Sure. There's a fundamental shift in the previous one and in this one. In the previous orders, they were about, reducing social gatherings, limiting crowds, making sure that we were starting to get comfortable with social distancing, and really listing out things that are inherently problematic, prohibited activities. In the stay-at-home order, it's flipped. You must stay at home. You must stay at home unless you're performing some essential activities for your family or for essential businesses that are part of crisis management and making sure that people can get through an event like this. So, in other words, we are now the order is you must stay at home unless, as opposed to a list of prohibited activities.
Before we head to our first break, I want to read. We were just told that the city of San Antonio and Bexar County have confirmed their second death from COVID-19, a 40-year-old woman who is being treated at University Hospital. You've been briefed on that, I'm guessing.
We are waiting. The official details have not been briefed on it. I was made aware late this afternoon, but yes, it is another tragic event as it relates to this epidemic, and unfortunately, we are probably not done hearing these kinds of tragic news. But again, if anyone was under the assumption that they're invincible or that they're in great shape and are healthy, if you may save your own life, you may save a family member's life, but this virus needs to be taken seriously. It's attacking people of all ages, and it's deadly for people of all ages.
I know that throughout this entire thing, in your news conference, you've talked about the balancing act, public safety versus our economy. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick had some things to say on Fox News last night. Let's listen to a little bit of snippet of what the Lieutenant Governor said.
Let's get back to work. Let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. And those of us who are 70 plus, we'll take care of ourselves, but don't sacrifice the country.
Your reaction to the Lieutenant Governor?
Well, it's very easy for someone of power and privilege and with a government health plan to make a callous statement like that. But what Dan Patrick is learning now is something that most Americans have known for a very long time, which is that a single health event can turn catastrophic. And that's what we're seeing play out all over the country. In fact, with our own economy, it has become a catastrophic issue. And so what I would say is that here in San Antonio, as mayor, no one is disposable. We're going to make sure that no one has to be sacrificed. We're going to protect everyone's lives.
If you want to see that entire conversation with Mayor Ron Nirenberg, we have that on our website, KSAT.com. Well, with the coronavirus pandemic impacting the community, the most vulnerable are on high alert. That vulnerable community includes patients undergoing dialysis several times a week. Doctors say due to their underlying health conditions, those patients are at high risk of contracting coronavirus.
Due to the fact that in general their immune system is less likely to fight off COVID-19 than normal individuals without chronic health problems.
Tonight at 10, Jaffney Gray speaks with a dialysis patient who explains how they've had to make adjustments and how she's hoping to encourage those in the same boat. Beginning at midnight tonight, San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg and Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf are ordering all individuals within city and county limits to stay at home and only leave their homes to perform allowed activities. It's an effort to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. RJ Marquez tells us what that all means.
The new stay home, work safe orders are the most restrictive that have been put on the city and the county since the coronavirus pandemic started. The orders will remain in effect until April 9th unless they are extended. Here's a breakdown.
Restaurants will stay open, only for delivery and curbside orders. Grocery stores, pharmacies, and other essential businesses like a big box store will also remain open. The order directs residents to stay home and only leave their homes for exempted activities. So what does that mean? Exempted activities include health and safety actions like buying groceries, medicine, food, or any other necessary services or supplies. Residents are also allowed to leave home for outdoor activities like walking, biking, or hiking or walking your dog as long as they stay 6 feet away from one another.
You can leave for work if your business is exempted. Here's where the work order comes in.
Exempted businesses include healthcare and government services, education and research facilities. Construction and transportation like VIA are exempt. Other examples include trash and recycling collection, mail services, building maintenance, plumbers, electricians, and exterminators. Services for people that are economically disadvantaged and services such as laundromats and dry cleaners are also exempt. Add to that, financial institutions like banks, childcare services like daycares and funeral homes are exempt as well, meaning they can stay open. Worship services can only be provided through video or remotely. So what happens if someone violates the orders? The city says police are not going to pull you over if you are outside of your home, and you do not need a permission slip to prove you work for a business that is allowed to remain open. They expect the public to follow the order and will focus on the businesses that should be closed.
Keep in mind, all public and private gatherings that consist of anyone other than your household or family are prohibited. You can see the full order on KSAT.com. For the 9, RJ Marquez.
Turning to tonight's top story, some of the people who were working to make Michael Bloomberg the Democratic presidential nominee have filed a class action lawsuit against him. Politico reports some of Bloomberg's former campaign workers are suing him for fraud. The plaintiffs say when they were hired by Bloomberg's campaign, they were told they'd be paid through the general election in November, regardless of who the Democratic nominee was. But on Friday, Bloomberg laid off the last of his team and told them they would be paid only through the first week of April. A Bloomberg spokesperson issued a statement saying the campaign workers were given several weeks of severance and health care through March. President Donald Trump pushing back the Real ID deadline because of the coronavirus pandemic. Under the Real ID law, travelers would need to get the enhanced license by October 1st to board any domestic flights. The president now says that he moved the deadline to follow social distancing guidelines and avoid crowds at state's Department of Motor Vehicles. As more people are staying in, the FBI is encouraging people to use its fitness app. The agency says the app teaches the proper way to do sit-ups and push-ups and even helps you train as if you were preparing for the official FBI physical fitness test.
All right, guys, time to take a look at some stories trending on KSAT.com today. Hey, look, I got a coworker with me. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your help there. All right, first story on our trending segment, Disney. Okay, so maybe you were looking for something to do with the kids. You guys are still stuck at home, still probably learning from home. Here's a great way to do it. Disney is offering a free online program for kids called Imagineering in a Box. So what this is a bunch of interactive lessons that can keep kids learning while they are at home. So for people that might not know, Disney Imagineers are basically the Disney engineers. They're the ones who put together the rides and put together everything else, like with the theme parks, and basically design the theme parks. So your kid can be a mini Imagineer from Disney. All you have to do is go to our website. We have more information there. This is going to be done through the Khan Academy website, so check that out if you can. All right, moving on here. You know, earlier today it was announced that the Olympics were postponed until 2021, so that led to some questions about Team USA and whether Greg Popovich would still be coaching that. Well, all that got put to rest earlier today. Team USA, or USA Basketball, basically announced that Pop will be on the bench in Tokyo when the Olympics take place in 2021 again in Tokyo. So that is great news there, and maybe that means that this break here, this NBA suspension, has maybe reinvigorated Pop a little bit, because maybe that means he sticks around with the Spurs for another season or so. A lot of people were wondering if he was going to do that, but we know at least he will be the coach of Team USA, so that is pretty cool stuff there. All right, moving on, last story here. There are a lot of things that have been postponed or pushed back, and one of them now is the Poteet Strawberry Festival. That's right, it's a favorite. The Poteet Strawberry Festival has been pushed back to October 30th to November 1st. So again, this is gonna be crazy. October 30th to November, the beginning of November. This is gonna be nuts. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so the festival was supposed to take place from April 3rd to the 5th, but of course, because of the coronavirus pandemic and those types of concerns, they had to push it back. Some good news here is that people who had already bought tickets for the festival, that will be valid and honored for new dates. So that's good stuff there to know. And again, we're keeping a list of all these festivals that have been postponed, or maybe some that have actually been canceled, unfortunately. But the Poteet Strawberry Festival seems like it is good to go. You can find that information on KSAT.com. That's been our trending segment. I will check in with you guys later. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching the news at 9. Don't forget to tune into the Night Beat. Starts at 10.